Shut up and sit down.
Welcome once again to the Shite Talk podcast show. I'm your host Mark Kearns, alongside
Ken Riley.
Welcome,
Yay.
Ken. This is our 120th show.
Yeah, they're taking along.
They really are. I think it was 114. Was that your first show?
113, 114.
No, around then.
Somewhere
I think it was around that. So you're nearly into.
Yeah.
You're
part of the furniture now.
You're part of the furniture. Yeah.
Still living in the closet.
Five, six shows deep.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, we're settling.
We're still having fun.
Yeah, we're settling. Like, we haven't pulled each other's hair out. Yeah, our disagreements is only like
off air.
Yeah, we've got over the whole killing kids, killing dogs argument.
I didn't get over it.
All right, we've still to get over that hurdle. So what was the week like for you in terms of stories that you've concocted for the show?
Yeah, this week was kind of tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found it kind of tough to find stuff this week.
I actually, like, last week for me was really, really tough.
Yeah.
Like trying to find stories to talk about. But this week for me, for some reason, was really, really easy. Now, we both had the exact same story.
Yeah, I think we had two.
Yeah, two of the same stories. Like, one of them I said, I had it until like last night, and then I seen like a better story, and it was kind of like, so I threw out the dog robbing a car story. But like one of our listeners, Declan Armstrong, shout out to him.
Yeah.
He also had the exact same story. This is like, and it's no wonder because this has been trending all week over like social media, and it was Elon Musk brings out his brand new Cybertruck.
Yeah.
And this thing, like, if it was the 90s, people are like, yeah, that's what things are going to be like.
This thing looks like, do you remember the cars in Grand Theft Auto 3?
Yeah.
That's what this thing looks like.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it looks like Back to the Future imagination of what cars are going to look like in the future.
Yeah.
It looks like the wheels should fold up and fly in terms of, like, what it could do. Like, I kind of described it as kind of like if you gave a kid a piece of paper and a crayon and said, draw a car, they draw something similar to that. Like, it's just really, really pointy. It looks more like a triangle. It
looks like something you would actually see in Minecraft.
Yeah, exactly. But this whole Cybertruck, I actually, before we talk about the ins and outs of the car, I love the comparisons on like Twitter about this car. Like some people were compared to the Simpsons car that Homer made.
Yeah.
The Everyman car. Other people were like comparing it to like triangles. My favourite one was somebody compared to the Lara Croft's tits out PlayStation 1. And in fairness, it looked more like her tits than it did like the Simpsons car. So I thought that was a pretty brilliant comparison to make in terms of the car. So like in terms of what this car was meant to do, first of all, it's like lot cheaper than any other Tesla. So it's the first Tesla that came out, the sports car one.
I wonder why it's a lot cheaper. Like, who's going to drive around in it? Yeah,
exactly. Well, actually, after that demonstration, which we'll talk about, it got 200,000 people ordered the car. So people looked at the car and gone, yeah,
crazy, like.
That's the car I want. Like, I can't throw a metal ball at any other window.
Would you drive it?
No.
No, me either.
Because like I think I'm part hillbilly. I'm part redneck because I love pickup trucks. There's something about pickup trucks
are cool. I like pickup trucks.
But what I want to do with pickup truck, I want to slam it. I want to really, really low, like so that it makes it completely useless for only like going off road. I just want something that you can like big and just you can cruise around in. Yeah. I'll even have the dorsal fin that even though it'll never ever be used because the thing's too low. That's what type of pickup truck I want.
Gun rack.
Yeah, I think I've been listening to
the Shite Talk podcast show in it.
Of course, by listening to or watching Gas Monkeys too much. I think it is. I went through like a few months of like just binge watching Gas Monkeys, and like every single episode they have like a pickup truck that's just slammed, and by the end of it, like, oh yeah, I want me a pickup truck.
Pickup trucks are cool though.
Yeah,
I've
they're
always
very
liked pickup
impractical.
trucks ever since when I used to watch wrestling and like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh,
used
the
to drive a pickup
316.
truck.
Yeah, he's a Chevrolet pickup
I was
truck.
like,
Yeah.
I want a pickup truck.
Yeah. But anyway, so we'll go into the bits of test. This thing was meant to be bulletproof. When I heard about Elon Musk said it's bulletproof, I was like, oh, he's going to bring a loaded gun onto a stage.
He's going to start shooting this thing.
This is definitely America. But obviously, for obvious reasons, health and safety, he didn't bring a loaded gun and start shooting at his car.
Yeah.
It would have been hilarious if he did.
It would
just
be
like
brilliant.
bullet holes all the way through. He goes, oh, but at least the windows are.
Yeah, the windows are still intact.
Yeah, we'll try to throw this metal ball at the windows, and then the windows break as well. He's like, I've just trashed my car. But like beforehand, like what they did was they got a metal ball and they dropped it from a height onto a regular window, and it cracked. And they got their reinforced glass, and it didn't crack. So he's just like, all right, that's a pretty good test. And before they'd hit their car with a sledgehammer, and then it didn't. No, in fairness, it didn't make a dent. Like it bounced off, it was grand. And then they got like a regular pickup truck door, and they hit off that, and that created a big dent. So he's like, this test is going brilliant. So he's like, everything's going to plan. I have this metal ball. I'll get that guy to fuck it through the window and see if it happens. And it cracks the window. So he had one cracked window. And he's like, all right.
He's like, let's try the back window.
Let's okay, that didn't work. And he's like, oh, maybe if I throw a little bit lighter. And like at this stage, if it does work, okay, like you already failed to show that like if a metal ball show at any rate of speed, it's going to break it.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't go wrong, you've now 2 cracked windows, and you're giving away free test drives in this car with 2 now broken windows. So what happened was he obviously broke it, and then like to save his pitch after he's like trying to save his pitch.
Yeah,
he's like,
at least it didn't go through.
oh, we made a quad bike as well. And so he brings up a quad bike, and he's like, oh, you can charge your quad bike as well, and there's no glass to break.
But like when he smashed the window, he was like, oh, well, at least it didn't go through the window.
Yeah. Imagine at that stage you're just like, fuck.
Yeah.
But like he I don't understand it, because like he's intense guy. Like he works 80 hours a week.
Yeah.
So you imagine before throwing a metal ball at your fucking window,
tested it.
you would have tested throwing a metal ball at the window.
Yeah.
It would have been like off air. It would have been just to be sure, can this metal ball be thrown? Because I'm going to throw it at it.
Yeah.
They've got a metal ball. He must have said, I'll just throw it at the window.
Yeah, like, I don't. But even if they had tested it and they dropped a metal ball onto it earlier, onto the glass, like, at some stage, then why did it shatter when it was actually in the car?
I'm not too sure.
Is it maybe because it was the window, like, were there 2 different sizes of glass? Maybe
I think it's maybe the force that's thrown at and then it dropped. Obviously,
surely dropping it would have came with a fair bit of force too.
Yeah, it would have, because you ran through a lighter. So
you threw the second one a lot lighter, like, and it's still cracked.
Yeah. You imagine like dropping from the height would have been a similar amount of force. At least the second one, if not the first one as well. Yeah. Yeah, because the test looked like it was just plastic, because it actually hopped and then dropped back on it.
Yeah.
So
maybe it was.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't the proper class.
Con man. Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. But like it was meant to be reinforced. It was meant to be. I don't know if the glass was meant to be bulletproof.
I think the glass is just supposed to be shatterproof.
Yeah, exactly. But then like, if your car's roof, the metal part is bulletproof, then it doesn't matter that the bottom part is bulletproof if the glass still can get shot at.
Yeah. Like,
people are still going to aim for your head. But anyway, it was meant to be this indestructible. It's also meant to pull anything. Anything. Like, it's meant to pull, like, it's meant to have more, like, force than any other pickup truck. So Ford are like, alright, our car is a good bit cheaper than yours. I think the starting price for this was 40,000. And the starting price for a Ranger, which is Ford's version of a pickup truck, is like 24,000.
Yeah.
So Ford were like, all right, we'll challenge you to a tug of war match. And Elon Musk was like, yeah, bring it on. So now Ford and Elon Musk's Tesla are going to have a tug of war match against Ford and Ranger. And now Ford are like, they're the kings of pickup trucks in America. They're like the most successful pickup truck in America. So like if this goes wrong as well as the glass shot, you're fucked because your car looks like a pile of shite. Let's be honest.
It doesn't look good at
all. The only like redeeming quality for it is that it's bulletproof.
Yeah, but even then,
allegedly,
when are you going to need a bulletproof car? Like,
we don't live in America.
Yeah, but like, when is Joe Average Man going to need a bulletproof car?
American cops buy cars all the time, and so like if you can get the for the police to have the police cars all Teslas.
Yeah, but then produce it like the way they produce some vehicles that are like military grade only.
Yeah, well,
then produce it that it's only like a law enforcement car.
Well, then the cost of producing that car will go up. If you're selling 200,000 cars, let's say.
Well, the problem is that the bad guys can buy them too, like.
Yeah. But like,
so then you've got
you just shoot at the wheels.
You've got a whole lot of drug dealers driving around in bulletproof cars.
Yeah, that's true.
Shatterproof glass. So to shoot out the wheels, you just lock the door and stay there.
Well, we know like this. All police officers will carry metal balls. I think even shatterproof glass. Once you can get these like little hammers that have little points.
Oh, the little
break thing, in case you go into like water and your car gets compressed. So I think there are still ways of like breaking glass even if it's shatterproof.
Yeah, throw a metal ball at it.
Yeah, exactly. So or just outweight them. Like eventually they're gonna have to come out for food.
Wonder did the ball maybe hit the glass in the wrong spot?
Yeah, imagine it would.
Like surely like everything has like there's like a spot there where it's structurally like unsound. It's like weakest.
Well, glass
not
is
like unsound, but like weak.
Glass is like tiny little molecules. That's why you get all those little crack things. So like, it's really bad structural material for like loading stress onto it. That's why it cracks so easily.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. But it's funny, and I think even Lego had a go at Elon Musk because they brought out their shatterproof truck, which is just a block with wheels.
That's shatterproof.
Yeah, it goes 100% shatterproof truck. Yeah, he's like, and they're like, we're changing the way people look at trucks, and it's like just to have a go, just as Elon Musk. But I heard they lost like 100 and something million or off the price of Tesla, like their shares.
But every time he does anything, the Tesla share price drops.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter what he does. Every time he like just is in public.
But even though like it got 200,000 pre-orders, so like 200 people go, yeah, I'll have that car. But I think Tesla is kind of for like really rich people. It kind of come like iPhones. Some people have already bought into the brand, so they got that brand association already. So people are like, oh, it's a green car, especially in California. Like it's electric. I don't know if it comes with that quad bike. If it came with a quad bike, you're like, I'm gonna get a free quad bike. But I'm pretty sure you'd have to buy that separately.
Oh, it sounds like something you might have to buy.
It's like Action Man toys. Like you go, oh, it has rockets and guns.
Action Man.
You have to.
It doesn't come with anything.
Exactly. You have to buy all the accessories itself. I don't know if you've seen that documentary about Bikram yoga.
No.
It's so like I watch it at the worst time because I watch it as there was loads of people
when you're doing yoga.
Yeah, it's like this is awful. I can't get my chi right because of this. No, I watched when there a full room of like people in my kitchen talking, and then they'd seen that I was watching this documentary. They start talking over the TV about the documentary, so I didn't get to fully watch it like properly. But so like Bikram yoga, I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's basically this yoga that's done in a sauna or a really, really hot room, so it probably smells like arse. But people wear pretty much nothing. He goes around, he's just like a little lad. He's about 5'6", 5'9" in height. He's quite short, and he goes
from?
India. Like
he's from India.
Yeah, the birthplace of yoga, and he alleges that like these moves are altered in a certain way that he could actually get patent over these moves. So he actually owns the patent for Bikram yoga. It's a separate entity than regular yoga.
Can you patent movements?
Apparently so. Apparently he was able, because way he either taught the class, or there was something unique that he was able to patent it. So like he was in like the really rich part of like California. He was like in where all the celebrities work, and he basically got a load of celebrity clients. So everyone was talking about this unique style of yoga, and he's charging €11,000 for in order to become a teacher trainer or trainer. So like, and he could only learn it off him. So he get fucking really fucking rich. And I was watching it, and like, I always say that like anything with a club, it's a bit of a cult.
Yeah.
Like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is a bit of a cult.
Yeah. It's
like we bow at the end of every class. We have a ceremony where we all whip each other. Yeah. Like anyone from the outside, anyone from who doesn't do Jiu-Jitsu came in and seen all that, they'd be like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
The gauntlet thing, though, well, in our club anyway, it's optional. Like.
It is. It was.
My first grade, and it wasn't.
It was. Yeah, when I first started, it wasn't optional. That pretty much had to clearly be explained to Marius.
It became optional.
It became optional, but you're still looked down if you don't do it. You still kind of. Well, not maybe not to like us, but like definitely to like a few of the older, like especially with like some Marius doesn't like see people not do it.
Yeah, I like it.
Do you like walking it?
I don't really mind walking it. Like
we should explain it to non-jiu-jitsu people. So a gauntlet is where everyone during that grade, and it could be 80, it could be 100 people, it could be 20 people, but everyone stands either side of, and they make a line opposite each other, and then a person walks up through that line, and everyone holds their jiu-jitsu belts and whips them as they go up. And let's say if you get like a blue belt, you have to go four times. Yeah. If you get a stripe, you have to go one time. If you get like a purple belt, it's like 6 times, and I think it goes up to your brown belt, and then once you get a black belt, you don't have to do it because you're seen as a master. And it's kind of a traditional. And
sometimes our coach will follow you down the thing, and just continuously hit you as hard as he can.
And people like will wet their belt so it's heavier. People will follow you down. I've heard people like tie knots at the end of their belt. So like people like they go all in. They like whip you pretty hard.
I go all in. I beat the shit out of people.
I beat the shit out of people. So people will hit you pretty hard. But I say yoga is a bit of a cult. And now my parents are teacher trainers, so they're drinking the Kool-Aid from yoga pretty hard. Yeah. A lot of my family do yoga, so they all are like, no, it's not. It's no fucking cult. And then as this documentary going on, I was like, oh, it's a bit of a cult. But yoga yoga is a bit of a cult as well. They all pray first of all. What other like if you go into pray. If you went in there's like this meditation thing, and they talk about their chi and inner wellness, and that's a load of bullshit. So like it's definitely it's meditation, but like praying is a form of meditation. So like they basically pray.
Yeah.
So I was explaining like how yoga is a bit of a cult, and as this documentary was going on, it furthered my point. Basically, how this guy manipulated people, because people were so like they looked up to him since he was the teacher as this grandmaster. So anything he would say, like he'd tell girls like to come over and massage me while he was in the class, and people
he's teaching.
Yeah, and like he'd send people over, like get them to massage me, and then people were massaging, and there's even this point in the class where this girl is like lying over onto her ankle, her head is coming back touching her ankles, and he's standing on her hips while teaching the class, and he has this throne, and he'd be like
she's like bent over, like flipped over like backwards kind of.
She's sitting on her knees, and then she's lying back so that her head's touching the ground, and he's standing on her hips, and he's like just talking to the class like, oh, look how strong she is, like what. And he's just like standing on her while teaching the class, and then he'd go off. But people obviously liked the class, and like hot yoga became a huge thing.
Yeah.
If you want to do this Bikram yoga, it's this hot yoga, you'd have to go you have to go through his teacher training. Like I said, it was €11,000, and was in this hotel. It was over, I don't know if it was over a week or whatever, but you'd have to stay in this hotel, and then every day you're doing yoga in the morning. I think there's like 3 yoga classes at this thing, but he would stay in this master suite hotel in the hotel as well, and he ended up like assaulting a lot of girls, and like I think one case allegedly raping one girl.
Jesus.
But she was so like still so enamored by this guy. She was like, she kissed him on the head and said goodnight. Like that's how much of a hold this guy had over her. So like
that's mental.
So anyway, there's like he ended up fleeing the country and was like still doing the Bikram. Like he was able to hide a lot of his assets. And he had this same thing like the governor of, I don't know if it's governor of California or some, gave him all of his cars. Allegedly gave him all of his cars, and he said, he goes, why did he give him all of his cars? Because I funded an engineering school where they make cars, and that's why he was given that's how he got all of his cars allegedly. And like so he was able to like hide a lot of profits, and so, and I think the reason why this documentary was made was because I think he is still teaching outside of the USA. Obviously, if he goes back to the US, he'll probably get arrested.
Yeah, like are they hunting him? Like,
I don't know if any criminal charges is being processed because he was so wealthy or whatever. I don't know if it went to a criminal trial. There was a warrant out to bring him to court to face.
Your one like that he supposedly raped. Like, she ever like reported? Like, she's still like, oh, he didn't do anything.
No, she I don't think she reported it, but another girl who I think he assaulted anyway. I think she then, or else he might write. Like I said, I wasn't really paying attention. It was a loud kitchen. She went to the police and started. She was the first person to go to the police and say what she did, and then speak out publicly about him over there, and then the other girl came forward as well, and then more and more people came in. But like people like completely turned on this girl, because like there's two sorts of people. Obviously, some people had heard about other girls getting assaulted, and gone, oh my god, there's been other girls, and then other people were like, oh, this girl's complete and utter bitch. Why is she making up this about Bikram? How dare she? He didn't do anything wrong. Yeah, exactly. It's just like, it's a pair of like, I always say like jiu-jitsu is slightly cultish, yoga is slightly cultish. For the most part of it, it's a good cult to be in. Like it isn't bad. Like you're around people with similar interests, and you're all drinking. Once it doesn't get to the point where you're looking at these people as godlike. Once you can see the like.
Once you can see the bad side of whoever your teacher is,
and you're not. He's not all powerful. That's this documentary showed that like. People just came so enamored by this guy, and like I think you see vulnerability in a lot of these people, because a lot of these people were.
That's usually how cults and stuff work, though, isn't it? Like they pick on the vulnerable. Like.
Yeah, they find people that are easily led, and then they just go in on it, and they whereas like stuff like clubs that you join, you pay a fee, and like you can leave whenever you want.
Yeah,
like. It's not really too bad, but yeah, it's definitely worth watching. I might go and watch it again, but yeah, it's kind of like the power of like what cults do, and like I think it's good to recognize like that, like stuff clubs that you're in, that they are quite cultish. Like just be aware that it's kind of, and so you don't ever get caught up in it a bit.
Yeah, like kind of. Watch yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Like I say, I admit to anybody, like jiu-jitsu is very cultish.
Like it can be. There's like.
Yeah, like we all wear the same clothes. We all like. Yeah.
But some clubs like are really cultish. Like some clubs you have to wear.
Oh, you have
what
to wear.
What the coach tells you have to wear.
Yeah, exactly. I know you're not allowed to train anywhere other than
your like home gym. Like.
Yeah, exactly. And like
that's
if you go to like visit this gym, you have to wear their. Yeah, they really like push it on it. And they don't like people taking any outsourced material. So like, let's say you brought a John Danaher TV.
And they don't like that.
No, they're like, fuck off. I'm the teacher, not John Danaher.
Yeah, or I seen this on YouTube. Piss off
then. Yeah, so that's why I think you should be like, if you're in a gym like that, you probably should be like,
get the fuck away from it.
Yeah. I think it's a good one to change the topic a bit, right?
Yeah.
Last week we had a fact about sea cucumbers.
Sea cucumbers, yeah.
They've teeth in their ass.
Yeah.
You found a new fact about sea
I found
cucumbers.
a new fact about sea cucumbers. So
Ken's fact of the week.
Yeah, fact of the week. Sea cucumbers. Predators. They fight off predators by like they shit out their internal organs.
So like,
and then they grow back their internal organs at a later stage.
So just in case you missed last week's show, I said that there's this.
Go back and listen to it.
You go back and listen to it, but like, just in case you don't have time, I said that like there's this fish that it goes up into their asshole, and the sea cucumber clearly doesn't like this because it evolved to have teeth in his asshole in order to capture this fish, but it didn't really work, so it still lives up there. Yeah. So it came up with a new defense.
So it shits out its internal organs.
So it basically just clears itself completely out and goes, fuck it, I'll grow it back.
Yeah, they'll grow back.
They'll grow back. It'll be fine. And
that's a bit mental.
Oh, it's extremely mental. I'm not saying it isn't mental, but
but like, even just
how does it stay alive? Like,
but like, if it has teeth in its ass as well, so like, does its internal organs get chewed up on the way out?
No, it's just like if you vomit, you don't start chewing your vomit.
Yeah, but like, does it start spitting them?
No, I'd say like it's like it's thrown up and it's just like projectile vomit somewhere. It's like,
weird, like weird fucking creature.
Does it shit it out, or does it like throw it out? Shits out.
Just said like excretes.
Yeah, that's shit.
So
shit. It shits out everything. But like, surely shouldn't it die? I was looking up.
It's like, technically, it probably should die.
Yeah, like if you can like shit out all your organs and still be alive, that's a pretty like
that's everything. I'm assuming maybe its brain stays where it is, but like everything else, its heart, its lungs, its guts, everything gets shit out. Like,
your brain's not in your stomach. I know.
Yeah,
but their anatomy is a little bit different to ours.
It's still like an internal thing.
It's still inside you.
It's still inside you. Like, I'm assuming it shits everything else out.
Like, maybe it only shits out like it's like digesting organs, like its bowels and stuff like that.
I know. The factor said all its internal organs.
All its internal.
So like, that would be like heart,
lungs,
liver.
Yeah.
Everything.
Kidneys. Oh well, your brain's in your head, so I presume it hangs onto that.
Wonder how long it takes to grow back.
Yeah. Like it would, like, if it doesn't grow back instantly, like
how fucking hungry would it be when it grew back?
Probably just eat the fish that it just shot out. Maybe it just eats his like leftover organs. So like, don't go to waste.
It's just weird, like.
Yeah, it's a weird way of defending itself.
Yeah, like, I'm getting chased by something that wants to eat me, so here's my internal organs. Like, is that going to stop you? What if the thing is like really big and it's like, this thing tastes really nice on the inside. I wonder if there's more.
Yeah. Well, I guess like maybe it tricks the fish that lives inside it that it's still inside it, the sea cucumber, so it can get away. Because it's like it's the bottom dweller, sea cucumber. So I don't think like it swims to. I think it crawls along the floor.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, because I looked up and it's like, I wonder what a sea cucumber actually looks like.
What's it look like?
It's like it doesn't look like. I thought it looked more like a cucumber. So it's a little bit wider, and yeah, it's more like a courgette. But I guess courgettes aren't as popular as cucumbers, so I got the name sea cucumber.
Sea courgette sounds a bit weird, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does actually. That's a posh,
It's a posh sea cucumber.
Yeah, it lives in the posh end of the sea.
It lives in D4.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's weird. So you got married recently enough.
Yeah.
Where's
this going?
You'll see. So you would surely you would have had a conversation about changing your last name.
Oh yeah.
So did
Aideen took my name.
Aideen took the traditional way. She took the lad's name, and this can be a bone of contention with people. Like I know a few couples that have kids. And some go down the double barrel route, which I think is a cop out.
I think it's a bit ridiculous, double barrel.
Yeah, I think just pick a name and go with it.
Because most of the time the kid will end up using one name over the other anyway.
Yeah, and I know a few people who come from like separated families, and eventually sometimes kids will change their name to either their mother or their father's name anyway.
Yeah.
And they'll go with that. And there might be a case for for maybe leaving it until the kid can decide. But like by the time where a kid can make an adult decision like what their last name's going to be, it'd be kind of a bit like you'll need a kid to have a last name anyway.
Yeah, but like you're lucky enough in Ireland though, because you don't actually have to legally change your name.
Yeah. You
just go by my name's different now.
Yeah, well, you can get changed.
You can get it changed legally if you want, but you don't have to.
You don't have to. I think for marriage certificate, you have to put down what your last name can be. It can be really annoying because I know for people, it can be a huge bone of contention. So, was the couple from the US? Were they
Australia?
It's UCD.
Do your Australian accent.
Water. So, like, I can while you're getting the story up, I can say one phrase in Australian, but I can't say anything else, and it's smoke on the water. It's because I was on holidays and this Australian woman goes, "Hey, smoke on the water," and it's really it's smoke is still saying in my normal accent, but it's actually just water that I can say.
It's just one word.
It's just one word.
Phrase, it's one word.
Yeah, I can develop it into maybe like a half sentence and a full sentence, and then I can mimic Australian people when I'm there in February.
So this couple in Australia, they decided his surname is Kassar and his wife's surname is Sheldon, so she didn't even take his name when they got married.
Yeah.
So then they decided when their daughter was born that they would combine their names, and they called her Castleton.
Castleton.
So her surname is Castleton, so it's the Cass from Kassar and the Dunn from Sheldon.
See, like when I first heard this story, I was like, do you know, that's not, but that's a good compromise. Instead of one parent taking the other parent's name, they combine their surname so they create a new surname, and then everyone has this surname. So, but then you corrected me and going, no, only the daughter.
Yeah, only the daughter
has this surname. Yeah. So her surname is different than both her actual parents. Yeah.
That's a bit crazy,
like why not change everybody's name?
Like, apparently it's a fairly common thing to do between people who are like in their 20s and 30s that recently get married, like newlyweds. Apparently it's a common enough thing that they will combine their surnames rather than one person change.
Like, I have no problem with that if everybody does
everybody's using the same name.
But like now your daughter has a completely different name than you do. Surname
bastardization of your surname.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody's happy about this decision. Like I much prefer if they like had some kind of a competition.
But like they're getting like serious abuse online over it.
Well, quite rightly so.
Because like people are just like attacking them because obviously it's ridiculous.
Well, like I don't think people should attack them, but like it is kind of a stupid idea if your kid has a different surname to you.
Yeah.
Like,
well, whatever if the kid has, like, say you had a kid with somebody and the kid's surname was Kearns and her name was fucking Smith or whatever, that'd be okay because one parent is called Kearns.
Yeah.
But like if you have a kid with somebody and the kid's surname is completely different, it is ridiculous.
Yeah, that makes absolutely no sense.
You'd be better off going with the double barrel thing.
Because will the Kearns please come in, or will the Smiths please come in?
Yeah.
Then you have to say three separate surnames that then you have to explain it to everyone. If someone said like
Kassar, Sheldons, Castledons.
Yeah, well, what was the kid's name? Surname?
Castleton.
So that's Castleton. That's Sheldon, and that's why whatever the other surname was. Kassar. Kassar is a pretty cool name though.
Yeah.
Because I remember I was listening to a radio show, and I don't know what the show was, but like they are giving one of the girls grief because she changed her name to her husband's name. Yeah. She's like, "Oh, well, I have the initials JZ." That's then people just stopped. Yeah, but like I think it's a personal preference. Obviously, what you want to change your name to, like, and that's gonna be something for the parents to argue about themselves. But definitely pick a surname.
Pick a surname rather than just fucking mashing them together.
Mashing them together is definitely not the way to go. Either give them both your surnames, or just pick one.
I blame like all these stupid fucking celebrity couples for this.
Well, definitely for like some of the like hemp is like or like they have to. So one of them has a number in their name. Is it the Beckhams have 7?
7.
And I know like I think one of Kanye West's kids called West or south, and so it's southwest.
North. There's a north. Isn't
Oh, is there a north?
There's a north and an east or something.
Yeah. Oh, there's one family who. Oh, I think he's a professional wrestler, or else he's a singer. He's a celebrity anyway. But Hogan. Is it Hulk Hogan who has like? No, it isn't Hulk Hogan. It's like someone like that has.
All the kids have the same name.
All the kids. He's a boxer actually.
George Foreman.
Yeah, George Foreman has
all
like.
his kids are called George.
Yeah, all his kids.
Male and female, they're all called George.
Yeah, he named all his kids after himself.
Yeah, they're all called George.
His wife like, oh no, you're not having another George.
But weren't Michael Jackson's boys both called like Michael?
Really?
Yeah, they were called like Prince Michael the First and Prince Michael the Second.
So it's like 1 and 2.
Yeah.
People are just going to call them.
Yeah,
where's number 1? Where's number 2?
Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
Whatever about like giving your kid, I like having a family name. I know people who have family names who have the first name that like the granddad had it, the father has it, and he has it. So like I understand family first names that some people do. That's normal, but it should be one per family. It's like you need to draw the line where you name all your kids George.
Yeah. Where's George? Where's fucking one?
Yeah, exactly.
Can you get? I mean, like, there's like 12 of them or something.
Yeah,
like, he doesn't just have 1 or 2 kids.
I don't know if he has 12, but he has a pretty big family. Like to the point where like how he gets so many Georges from that.
Yeah,
it's quite impressive.
It's a bit ridiculous.
Yeah. Actually, what also is ridiculous is some of the porn stars' grievances. I was kind of hesitant about the story.
Yeah.
So this is a story that I came across, and porn stars are really annoyed at Instagram because for a lot of them, it's where they make their money. It's where they can make a name.
Side money.
Well, a lot of them can become influencers. They can become household names from Instagram. So if they can build up a following on Instagram, they can then use that to get more money or argue for more money in the porn biz. And so like Instagram for them is where they do a lot of their soft core porn.
Would that work? Like a porn star become a household name, so like what, like your granny there that's like sitting up is, I don't think all of a sudden, oh, did you hear about your one?
I don't think it's directed. I
started watching a lot of her stuff.
I don't think it's like directed just at like I don't think it's directed at all like grannies and granddads, maybe granddads. I think it's definitely male dominated where their demographic is pointed. But like I think everyone knows like of like famous porn stars. Like what's that?
To an extent, like
what's that? Your one who has Indian girl who was
Indian girl.
Yeah, she was like she did this porn where she was like a
Kim Kardashian.
No, well yeah she was a porn star, but like she dressed up as an ISIS member and did like a porn party of ISIS and got like a death threat to her. But like she was like one of the most searched names on Pornstar for ages. I think she's retired now, and she spoke out about the porn biz like lately. Kids like Mia Kunis. No, Mia Kunis. I'm gonna stop before I actually say some other celebrity.
We should stop this before somebody gets slandered.
Yeah, well, I can't think of her name, but yeah, she was really, really popular, and I think there's like Alexis is on Fire is actually Amagon of Alexis Fire, who's a porn star, and actually tried to.
I think we were talking about that before.
Yeah, and actually tried to sue Alexis is on Fire, but it was like thrown out of court. And yeah, there definitely is well-known porn stars.
Yeah, like your man from Biohazard, he was married to a porn star.
Yeah.
Can't remember what her name is, but he was married to her.
so she's not famous then. That's what you're saying. But like the reason why she is all these porn stars are, I think 1,300 porn stars had their accounts deleted. Now they allege that Instagram are deleting their accounts because they don't like having porn stars work on their sites. So the reason why they're getting deleted is purely because what they work as for a living. Now, this went to the point where Instagram actually organised a meet with the Porn Star Guild, which is hilarious that they
That's
have
an actual thing.
Yeah, they have
they have like a union.
They have a union, which, like, in fairness, you think they might need a union because obviously all the like advantage they might be taken of. So, like, it's probably a better thing that they have a union that they didn't have a union, but Instagram agreed to meet with them, but then that didn't materialize for it. So more and more porn stars have been getting their accounts deleted, and apparently, I don't know the name of this, but there was a well-known porn star who died, and her account was deleted, and she had like 900,000 followers.
I'm sure she's dead. Like,
but people obviously were annoyed because they were paying their like respects to this girl, and then obviously because of the outrage, her account was reinstated. But other girls have now. These girls could have been like breaking the terms and conditions of Instagram in terms of
more than likely.
Yeah, like we can't say they said that they followed the terms and conditions, like they don't show any nipples. Some probably do have like links to websites where people can wear more explicit content, but how is that any different to like maybe people who are selling other things? Like if you're going to allow links to pages, like I'm pretty sure
I think it's like, is it not like down to, obviously Instagram have a lot of like underage users.
Yeah.
So if you stumble across a page and click on a link, and then before you know it, you're on a porn site, there might be some fucking...
Well, surely it's up to the porn site then to see if you're over 18. And, like, before
because a 15-year-old is going to go on a porn site. Are you over 18?
Yeah, exactly. No. But, like, I think one of the... Yeah, maybe it is because... Like, I don't know. I Twitter gets away with showing tits. So you imagine that Instagram would. Like, I think the idea of, like banning women, topless pictures of women is, like, just a red part of the nipple is, like, oh, we can't have this. This is 2019. And, like... We're getting offended.
Mark wants more tits on Instagram.
More tits on Instagram. Let's start a campaign. Email in to us.
DM Mark. Mark will be sliding into DMs now.
We can't put them up on Instagram, but we might share them on Twitter.
Start a poll.
I think if we start putting up pictures,
you get a lot more
of tits. I'm pretty sure there'll be plenty of polls, plenty of different places. But like, but just like it's part of the body. That's just it's a real red nipple, and if it's on a lad, it's grand. If it's on a girl, oh no, you can't show that. I just think it's a little silly that like nipples are banned. I can understand like hardcore porn being banned off Instagram, but the human body should not be banned off Instagram.
Wouldn't that be included in hardcore porn?
Not really. Like I watched on Twitter, a guy who had a dildo strapped to his skateboard.
Hang on. Why did you watch a guy with a dildo?
No, he had this dildo on a skateboard. It popped up on my newsfeed. I didn't follow the guy.
What the fuck have you been looking at?
No, it's like some guy on Instagram that I follow retweeted this photo of this guy who had a dildo strapped to his skateboard, and he drove it into he drove a skateboard into some naked guy, and that was just on Instagram. That was just on Twitter. That was just like on people's regular feed, and like it wasn't being reported. So it like compared to like what Twitter allows, like I'm pretty sure like Instagram can allow a bit of nipple. Like if Twitter are allowing guys driving skateboards up other guys' asses.
Yeah, well, I suppose. I don't know, like what are they not like all Facebook owned? Is Twitter owned by Facebook?
No, if Facebook owns Instagram and WhatsApp, but they don't own
Twitter.
Twitter, no, that's a separate entity.
Maybe that's the reason.
But like, I think it speaks to, and I'm gonna get really conspiracy here. It speaks to like, no matter if it's like a podcast or if you're a YouTuber or if you're an influencer, we all live under this dictatorship of the social media, and for whatever reason, where you're making even a small part of your livelihood can be just taken away like that, and there's no jury or prosecutors, there's no like appeals court to these girls who can say, okay, I didn't understand this. It's like, no, you're banned. That's the end of it, because we were say you're banned. And even if you don't break the terms and conditions, even if you're following the guidelines, they can still just turn around and say, no, you're banned. We decided we don't want you on the site, and there's nothing you can do. They're a private company. They can allow whoever they want on their sites. And it kind of speaks to more, like, now it's porn stars. And let's take what the porn stars are saying for a fact, that what Instagram, why the reason Instagram, which isn't proven, didn't want them on, it's because they're porn stars. And they followed terms and conditions, even though they still have porn stars on their site. Some porn stars are still there. Let's say that was true. And overnight, all porn stars were banned. Yeah. Like, we might laugh at, oh, well, they're porn stars. But then what if, like, right-wing or people who have opinions who are Donald Trump fans were deleted? And we're like, okay, they're only Donald Trump fans. Fuck them. Fuck Donald Trump fans. They're arseholes. Then another group gets thing. Then people start getting really hesitant about. So everyone starts toning a line to a certain kind of audience that Instagram wants. And, like, I think. So
you're saying it's been too censored?
It's been too censored, and, like, I think social media is a public space. Like, so, like, no one can be kicked out, like O'Connell Street, right? Because it's a public space. You can't be told to leave unless you break the law, and then you'll be arrested and kicked out, right? But a pub, for whatever reason, a pub can kick you out. Now,
that's the private business.
That's private business. So that's the thing. That's the thing. What people are arguing, that Twitter right now is a pub. It's a private business, but it's a public space as well. Kind of like people. This is how people make their living. This is how people interact. Like, if you're banned off.
I wonder, are the terms and conditions on, like, Twitter and Instagram different?
Yeah, they are, because they allow nudity.
But, like, do they specifically, you know, if you were to read them, like, does Instagram specifically?
They do say, like, we can. They all of them say, for whatever reason, we can choose to delete your account. Here's our guidelines, and they all have, like, hate speech violations, and they all have, like, certain codes of conduct that we allowed. Now we don't allow it. If you break these, you'll get a warning or you get kicked off.
And then it's kind of your own fault if you get kicked off.
Not really, because overnight, your man who, what's his name, who used to say there was a paedophile sex ring on the moon. Yeah, like, he was fucking. Alex Jones was.
Alex Jones.
Yeah. Alex Jones was, like, overnight for no reason was kicked off every social media other than Twitter. And
Alex Jones says a lot of stuff though you could class as hate speech.
He does say a lot of mad shit, but a lot of it is just crazy. Like, a lot of it, like
personally, I find him hilarious.
I find him hilarious as well. Like,
but he does say stuff that you could class as hate speech.
Yeah, and I remember it went down to comments he made about Sandy Hook, which I thought was dreadful. I thought was wrong. I thought he should be in rapid, but he's been sued by the Sandy Hook parents for saying those things. So we already have a judicial system that will deal with stuff like that. And I know if you put something up on Twitter, which is racy, should be taken down. But it's coming to a point where porn stars who, if people are, like I said, let's say take porn stars' claims as legit, are being deleted because they're just porn stars and they're not even posting that, and that's a little bit wrong.
Yeah, but I don't know, like, they probably are posting shit that they shouldn't be, though.
Yeah, like, more than likely.
More than likely they are.
More than likely.
Like, if it's just them out walking their fucking dog or in a park or whatever, okay, getting kicked off for that is a bit shitty.
Yeah.
But, like, if you're actually off there and you're posting fucking...
You're selling dildos.
Yeah.
Maybe stats is like, you can buy this dildo.
Yeah, maybe then you should kind of, like, just fuck off.
Yeah, because...
it's a bit more justifiable then.
Yeah, well, like I said, let's take the claims as like that they haven't broken any of the guidelines that Instagram set out for demonetization or deletion of account, and it'd be very hard to prove that. Like I said, that these accounts were just deleted because
they're probably
of
linked
their job.
They probably
a lot of them
links
do.
To fucking sites that they were just like, no.
Well, yeah, a lot of them do, but I don't know if that's in the terms and conditions that you can't have links to sites that are specifically over 18, because they're not illegal. Once you're over 18, you can access all these sites. It's just really hard to police, like, what kids can see compared to what adults should be allowed to see. Like, I'm pretty sure.
Maybe that's something to do with it as well, though. I'd say there's a lot more kids and stuff using Instagram than Twitter.
Well, I would have thought like Snapchat that's the kids one, really. I think
though a lot of like young people use fucking Instagram though.
Yeah, a lot of them do. Like I know anyone who's like early 20s is using Snapchat. I know anyone around our age is using Instagram, and then you're maybe a little bit older is using Facebook.
Yeah.
Like, I think, and then if you're I think mid-30s people will predominantly be on Instagram, Twitter.
Yeah, like maybe Twitter just has a higher tolerance for it because the age group of people is older.
Oh, definitely. Like, there's not a whole lot of young people on Twitter, and that's it. We'll move on to something more shite talky, and this one actually involves shite.
Oh no!
And this is in Toronto, so we're kind of doing a world's news thing. We had a
Shite Talk World Tour.
Yeah, Shite Talk World. We're now in Canada, and what's happening is in Toronto, there's a phantom poo bucketer who's dumping feces. We don't know if it's human or animal, but feces nonetheless over unexpected like victims' heads. So in one case, he walks up to this girl and has a bucket in his hand and throws it over the girl's head, and then runs off. And then
I stumbled across something like this a few days ago. I think it was related to the same guy. Like, there's no like reason behind it or anything.
No, like one
completely
time,
random.
One of the time was like in a library. He sneaks into the library and dumps it over some person who was in the library's head, and then runs off. Now in the library, obviously there's cameras, and he was able to be caught on camera. Your man doesn't cover up his face, but
what an idiot!
Yeah, he's fucking gobshite.
Wonder does he listen to the podcast?
At no point did the Shite Talk podcast show, I should point out, encourage anybody to show any form of fecal matter over anybody.
No, but if you're listening
to the Shite Talk podcast, yeah, get in contact. We'd like to have you on. Yeah. You're probably going to go to prison though, because people know what you look like now. Anyway, but yeah, he just threw it over and ran out. But like, you imagine like if you've probably planned this out because you have a bucket, you have your little cloth to cover up what it is. But you imagine you go, all right, I'm going to go into a library where there's cameras, or
I'm going to need a mask.
Yeah, I'm going to need to cover my face.
At least a hat.
Yeah, exactly. But no, he just casually walks in with a bucket and like just throws it over people.
But like, would people not, as he's walking by them, smell it?
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. But I guess like if you're walking past somebody, you're not going to pay attention like, oh, that, like, because he's probably dressed as a guy who might.
But like if you're in an enclosed space, like if he walks into a library.
Yeah, he might think he's doing maintenance work.
Fairly enclosed space. You're going like,
maybe
this guy smells like shit.
Well, he's probably not hanging around there. He's probably walking in.
And then you've heard of the poo thrower guy.
Well, see, I think now this story's kind of get more like getting more traction in terms of people are talking about it a bit more. But like, there was only 3 victims at this time, and it only happened within the space of a week. So there's going to be like a part where nobody's talking about this, but now that's on the Shite Talk podcast show. Yeah. Of course,
everybody's going to know.
Everyone's going to know about it. Like, this is going to be like Sky News are going to do a piece on it. But yeah, so this girl was just like in a library, and he chucks over and walks out. Like, and there's just no reason for her. Like, I just imagine you're on your way to work or you're studying for an exam, and
somebody throws a bucket of shit at you.
Like, you wouldn't be able to get into your car because you're covered in shit, and then your car is going to be covered in shit. Unless say then you have to get in a public transport. You have to get like on a bus covered in shit. Like, there's just, and you're not going to be able to get a taxi. Like, you're just going to be covered in shit, and you're probably going to have to walk home.
Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah, and I'd probably end up throwing up. Like, you'd have to you'd probably going to throw up. But
you're definitely going to throw up. Like,
yeah, it's disgusting. It's like one of the most grossest thing I've ever heard. There's no reason for him. He hasn't.
Pretty sick. Like.
Yeah, he hasn't stuck out any like. I remember there was a fake documentary about like
American Vandal.
Yeah, American Vandal. That was a really good. I actually thought that was true.
Yeah, I liked the first season was good. I didn't finish the second one.
Yeah, the second season is just as good, but it's more kind of oh yeah, this is a fake fake documentary. I got kind of like, I thought it was real. I was like, oh, this is really, really good.
The first bit was like, the first one was really good. I was like, is this real?
Yeah.
The first one with the dicks.
Yes, that's what I mean. Like, because like obviously some of the response by the teachers where they were talking about like, I'm not going to say on air that I fancy a student.
Yeah.
I was like, all right. I was like, oh, is that real? Like, no logical person would say that. But would they though? And then I was talking to a guy in training. He goes, "No, that's fake." It's like, yeah, of course it's fake.
Yeah, it's really good though.
Yeah, check it out. Check out American Vandal, especially the first one. The second one's about poo. It's kind of
the second one's literally shit.
The second one's just about someone makes everyone shit themselves, and then they get these guys in. I want the third season. I would definitely watch American Vandal 3. Yeah, so this kind of maybe watch this documentary and go, I'm gonna actually throw shit over people.
Like, what goes through your head that you go, this is what I'm gonna do? Like,
yeah, I don't know if he just spends the week shitting into the bucket because there's liquid shit as well.
So like, what does he do? Like what's his?
He must have to blend the shit. I don't know if it's cow shit. Maybe he's a farmer, or maybe he works in sewage and
like, is he a perfectly normal person except that he just goes around throwing shit in people?
Well, what do you mean?
You know, like does he go to work like every day? He works 9 to 5, and then
I'm pretty sure he has
comes
a job.
home then, and he like.
Well, maybe he doesn't because he does this midday
on his day off. Yeah, but maybe he works like,
in a sewage plant. He either works in a sewage plant or right. He shits in his bucket all day. Then he mixes it himself because it's liquid shit.
Ugh.
So like. At some point, he either has to find a load of liquid shit, or
maybe he's using a chemical toilet.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, it's absolutely gross. This is disgusting story. Well, I'll probably stick up a link to the story on our Facebook page, just in case you want to have.
If you want to read more, before your dinner.
So we're going to talk a bit about road rage.
Road rage.
This is going to be our traffic segment of the show, and you have a pretty good story about road rage.
Yeah. So there's this guy. Where have I got it? He's 61. I know that much. He's 61, and he got involved in a road rage incident in Florida with this woman. And he got out of his car, and she put down her window, and she apologised for whatever she did, and he's like shouting and screaming and roaring at her. But he's eating food as he's like talking to her, so he just like spits everything that's in his mouth straight into her face, and she actually like swallowed some of it. Yeah. And passers-by seeing all this going on, like, and went over and calmed him down, and he obviously fled the scene and whatever, but the cops were looking for him for like 2 weeks, and he eventually got arrested and charged with a whole load of stuff and fined $12.5 grand.
Shit.
Yeah, he got fined $12.5 grand, and he got charged with felony battery and
he must be in hangry.
Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah.
What did he get? So all of
he must have tried to pull her out of the car.
Alright. Like, you must be really, really hungry. Like, never drive while you're hungry. I know that's sometimes impossible.
Yeah, well, like,
he had food with him.
He spat the food into her face.
He must have done that on purpose. He must have been like,
oh, it was definitely on purpose.
Well, like, he must have been like, oh, I'm currently eating some, and I'm now getting really angry. He must have been like, I have food, I'm gonna chew this up and spit it in her face.
Yeah, like, what the fuck, like.
That's yeah, but like, at that stage, you're just going, because obviously, if it was a road rage, obviously, I take it that he was driving his own car.
Yeah.
And then obviously maybe she cut him.
He was driving, yeah, she must have cut him off, or.
Yeah, and so like, if you ran away, unless you drove away really fast, if you ran away, they have your license plates, they know where you live.
Yeah.
It's like that a scene in The Simpsons where it's like, you're the postman, yes. So you know where I live, yes. So it'd be pointless for me to run away. Yes, I'm going to do it anyway. It's exactly like that scene in Simpsons. It's like, you're going to get caught. You might as well turn yourself in and go, yeah, sorry, I fucked up. I was hangry. I was annoyed.
Yeah, like, just fucking disgusting thing to do.
It's really, really bad.
Do you suffer from road rage?
Yeah. A little bit. Yeah, I do. Yeah. But I think if it's because you're in such a heightened state, even though you might be relaxed in the car, you're in such a heightened state. Whereas when someone swerves out, you're like, oh my god, I could have crashed my car, or I could be seriously injured. So you're like, you're dealing with that shock, and then because of that you go, you fucking idiot, you know, you make me like.
That's kind of like understandable though. Like I have like totally like irrational road rage.
Oh, if someone pulls out in front of you.
Like no, like just totally irrational. Like somebody driving too slow. Like that fucking pisses me off.
When I remember because
somebody letting cars out into if you're sitting in traffic and some fucking idiot lets a car out.
Because like last week I was getting my hair cut, so I had to cut the show short. Like so, we're running out of time. Sorry,
I seen you flying out of the estate.
Yeah, so like that time there was like people like letting people out and like come on, and like Nace is actually the worst place to, ever.
It's the worst place to drive around after Eden Dairy.
Like because people will park the car anywhere on the roads. They just abandon it and they stick on the hazards. Like that's okay.
Yeah.
As well as that, they have suicide pedestrians who run across. They see that you're trying to like overtake a car to get back in on your side, and they just run across the road while you're trying to do that. As there is another car coming on, so you have to jam on your brakes. So it's a stressful situation anyway. But if you're late for an appointment, or if you're trying to make an appointment, and you're then trying to get through Nace can that's where the road rage you'll get like pretty bad.
I have it really bad sometimes. Like it's just ridiculous.
Generally, like if I've nowhere to be on time, like I will be that guy who will slow down and let people out.
I'll never slow down and let people out. But if I don't have to be somewhere, I'll be a bit more
calmer. But if I'm trying to make something on time, I'm like, and then like people are going really really slow, I'm like I am pretty erratic in the car. But what about when people what about getting the front seat? Have you are you still like, if you're a passenger, or you're like, no, I have to have the front seat?
I generally will take the front seat because if I'm not driving, I get travel sick.
Yeah.
And sitting in the front seat kind of makes it a bit better.
So you go, so I have a reason why I have to sit in the front seat is because
I'll smash your face into the car if I don't get the
I
front
will
seat.
throw up all over this back in this car.
Yeah.
So that's a legitimate reason. Like most people like the days of arguing over front seat.
Like I know, like if I give a couple of people, like if you give a few friends a lift, like somebody's inevitably going to shout shotgun, and there's going to be a row over it.
Well, generally is settled over whoever says shotgun, unless the driver says reload.
Yeah.
And then everyone knows who next person to say shotgun gets it.
Yeah.
And that's generally how people solve it. It's saying shotgun, or if you're with your family, it's generally who's the oldest sits in the seat. Yeah. That's what was the rule when we were growing up, and that's sort of it. Well, these two siblings were arguing over front seat, and the argument got a little bit physical. They ended up in a fight, and by the end of it, they ended up getting a police chase, tackled by the police officers, and done for assault. So I'll just get the names for them. They're 27 and 20 years old, so they're fully grown adults, and it's Brett and Brianna.
They weren't even like two brothers. Like it was a brother and a sister.
Brother and sister. The lad was 27 and the girl was 20 years old. And Brett was collecting Brianna from work. And Brett had his girlfriend with him. He wanted his girlfriend.
Oh, in that case, girlfriend gets the front seat
all the time, every time. Like, and Brett obviously had his girlfriend in the front seat. Brianna kicked it out with this and wanted the front seat for whatever childish reason they wanted the front seat. So Brett and Brianna, while in the car, started fighting, and it got pretty serious because his girlfriend, who wasn't named in this article, started shouting for help at the stage. Onlookers were like, okay, she's
getting kidnapped.
Yeah, there's a girl trapped in the car and these two are beating the heads off each other. So they called the police. So as soon as the police came up, Brett obviously ran away in the car, fled the scene in the car, right? To his girlfriend, hanging out of the car, waving her arms while trapped in the car.
This story is brilliant.
Yeah, while still trapped in the car. I think they ended up getting like caught up on a curb. The police came and pointed their guns at them. So Brett at this stage and Brianna started to calm them a bit down. So they're being cooperative, so the police obviously lowered the weapons. And then Brett attacked one of the police officers.
Attacked a cop?
Yeah, so another police officer tackled him to the ground. And then Brianna stuck up for
her brother.
And started attacking the cop as well. So both of them don't go assaulting the police officer. They got for evading arrest, as well as a battery charges for assaulting each other. And Brett's girlfriend has also now filed for a restraining order, but against anyone to do with their family. And the cops are like, this is all over who gets to sit in the front seat. Like, seriously, this could be like, you start going to jail. You start going to jail over
the front seat.
Over the front. Like, was it worth it?
I'd say it was definitely worth it. If Brianna got to sit in the front seat, it was worth it.
Yeah, like, I know, like, if like, first of all, who cares if you're in the back?
Yeah,
like,
who really cares?
Yeah, like, maybe she suffers from like travel sickness. She's like, no, I have to be.
But then surely he would have known that, and the girlfriend probably would have known that, and it would have explained it and been like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but I take it like,
or she would have taken like, I can sit in the back if I take travel sickness tablets.
Yeah, like, or maybe both of them have like travel sickness. It's like somebody's trying up. I'd be like, get the bus.
Oh, the bus makes it fucking worse.
Does it?
Yeah. Oh, I can't. Fuck the bus.
Yeah. Well, maybe like just his girlfriend, because his girlfriend also suffers from travel sickness. He goes, well, both of you suffer from it. But like, well, I don't get. Brianna must have been in the front seat, because it's very hard to fight over a seat if a person's in the back. So like, Brianna already took the front seat.
Whatever about fighting forward, like if she's in the back, she could be hitting him, but like he's not being able to defend himself fighting.
So yeah, well, I think they obviously must have had the car stationary, but like he must have locked the doors. Like why was his girlfriend trapped in the car? Like, do you have child lock on all your cars? Like, what was the situation with that? Like, his girlfriend couldn't just get out and go like, do you know what? I'm just going to walk.
The girlfriend must have been in the back then.
Yeah, the girlfriend.
Because it would have made more sense. People calling the cops saying this girl's been kidnapped.
Yeah,
if
exactly.
You're sitting in the passenger seat and you're going, help! Very hard to say that you were kidnapped.
Yeah, exactly. And then like, especially once you see the cops coming, you would have definitely left the car. Obviously, your man says, "Oh shit, they're calling the cops now, so I'm going to run away."
She must have been in the back.
Yeah, she must have been in the back. So like, I don't know why he just said, okay. Well, obviously the girlfriend didn't mind being in the back. Like, let's just let sleeping dogs lie, and we'll just like, it'll be fine.
Yeah, fight your sister when you get home.
Yeah, and like exactly. So I think it's a weird way to end the podcast, but I think we'll end it there.
Been a good one.
Yeah, it's been a good one. A few weird stories to talk about.
Random shit.
Once again, if you're like, if you have any interesting stories, text them in or email them in to shitalkpodcastshow@gmail.com.
Yeah.
If you are listening to this podcast anywhere,
and we've mentioned the story involved with you,
please don't take any action. No, hit that subscribe button so you get notifications when the pods are released. In terms of iTunes, for some reason they're released on the following Wednesday, so you're going to be getting, you're a week behind. I don't know how to address it. If you have any solutions to that, you can email me in how I can fix that. But if not, you're just going to have to either listen to it on a different platform or just be a week behind. If you're a regular listener, you're probably just used to getting on a Wednesday anyway. I never noticed there was any bit of a difference. So continue listening on a Wednesday. We'll be back next Thursday, or for iTunes listeners to follow Wednesday. We'll talk to you then.
See you later.
Shut up and sit down.